Arkansas boy with a lifelong plan took the oath like his old man, then turned around proud and shook his hand. L.A. kid stood right behind, took a deep breath and signed on the line, while tears streamed from his mama's eyes. They hopped right up on that Greyhound bus, swapping stories. They laughed and cussed, and they talked about the girls that they loved. They made a pact, shined up their boots, got the call before it hit the news. No clue what they were about to do. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Finish This Fight Hour, 3:30 Eastern Time. My name is Glenn Baker. I'm your host. And if you don't know that, shame on you. You should have been following for the last 6 months. Hey, we got a couple of great shows today. We're starting here at 3:30 with an entrepreneur, visionary, Mr. Jim Gale. Going to be chatting with him in a moment. This evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I have got the lovely Khalilah Ali. Now, that last name sounds familiar, doesn't it? Well, it should. That's Muhammad Ali's ex-wife. She's a great friend of mine. We're going to have a great chat tonight. But starting now at 3:30, we're going to have Jim Gale. Let me take my man makeup off so I can actually see. You know, I got to put that makeup on. Them sunglasses make me a lot hotter, but this is the studious Glenn Baker. And let's talk about Jim. He's connected to Bobby Kennedy, and that's kind of cool. I got some other friends that are pretty close to him. We're going to talk about that a little bit. He's developed a campaign strategy with Bobby Kennedy that was revolutionary. Jim's building a school model, or actually has built a school model that will feed the world. That's a strong statement, man. Building a school model that'll feed the world. And it's a very strong proof of concept. He's got a feature film that's in the making. It's all laid out. And most importantly, Jim has a great network of support, people behind him that he can lean on and know is there. Jim, welcome to the show. Hi.
Hello, Glenn. Thank you so much for the introduction and for having me on your show. I'm very excited to share our solutions with everybody listening.
Well, good, man. I'm going to sit back in this chair and get a little bit more comfortable. You look like you're outside. Are you on the farm?
I am. We are on our homestead. We have got 1.1 acres in the midst of 51 acres on a private 430-acre lake with a mile-long paved runway bordering the east of our property. And what is going to happen is world leaders will be flying in their aircraft, landing on this runway and parking here to learn about freedom and how to attain it on a global scale.
Well, mile-long runway, that sounds like that could actually work for even a jet.
It can, yes.
Okay, wonderful. Jim, for people that don't know you, where do you come from? Who are you? Did you just show up one day and say, hey, I'm going to save the world? What happened?
Well, failure and desperation is what happened. So I learned about goal setting when I was 19, wrote my goals that I wanted to be a wrestling national champion.
Hey, Jim, having some connection problems with your audio.
Okay, that's I don't know what to do. I've been on about 700 podcasts, and I almost never experience issues, but once in a while, it happens. How's that right now?
I'm talking to you now.
Okay.
No, I've still got the breaking up. Try one more time.
Okay, how's that sounding? Is it just
still breaking up? How about you go out of the studio and come back in? Sometimes that reset works. And while he's doing that, y'all, he's in Florida. Yeah, it's a connection, Jim. If you can hear me, I can hear you. But it's It's breaking up pretty badly. Come on. He's in Florida, y'all. He's been meeting with some pretty powerful people in the health nutrition world. I mean, I don't know that they come a whole lot more powerful right now than RFK Jr. And I was talking about RFK Jr. yesterday, and I said JFK Jr. And somebody said, "Y'all been speaking of JFK Jr.?" It just kind of rolled off my tongue. I was wrong. So RFK Jr. being involved. Teaching kids, what do y'all think about what's going on in our education system? I mean, truthfully, we're towards the bottom of the pile in the U.S. Education's not one of our strong points, and it all happened during the 70s when Jimmy Carter brought in the Department of Education. We just seemed to go downhill. I mean, I remember my time in growing up in the 70s, being in elementary school, starting the day the Pledge of Allegiance, and prayer, and all that stuff, and they took that away when the Department of Education came into play. That's the time we kicked God out of schools. So, Jim, I'm still getting that. As soon as you came back on, you've got a really bad connection somewhere.
That is so a bummer, man. I'm going to turn this off and I'll come right back. I'm going to turn it back on and off. I've never had this issue, so I'm going to do my best to resolve it and remedy it immediately.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, be right back.
So with a technical issue, ladies and gentlemen, Jim will be right back and we'll finish this. But yeah, in the 70s when the Department of Education came into play, when the Department of Education came into play, he's going to be rebooting, guys. We're gonna remove him, and that's when God was kicked out of our schools, and that's, I believe, truthfully, when we started seeing real problems in our country. Whenever there's good and there's evil, and if you lean towards one side or the other, that's the side that's gonna grow. I heard it said one time, and I kind of paraphrased it: whatever you feed is what's going to grow in your life. You can feed fear or you can feed faith. I choose to feed faith, where my faith is stronger than my fear. But during that time, the Department of Education came into play, and guys, we just went down. We just went way downhill. Yesterday, I had a young man on here was talking about the newer technology in frequency medicine and med beds and things like that. And there's some pretty amazing things in our country and in our world right now. If you didn't see that, go to Glenn Baker Band on YouTube and check that one out. This gentleman's out of Franklin, Tennessee, and it's got a med bed, and it's doing some amazing things. But at that point, we talked about what's in our country in the medical world. And in the medical world, we've got the pharmaceuticals running the medical world. The only thing we're really good at compared to the rest of the country is surgery. When it comes to actual medicine and helping people in diseases and healing, we're at the bottom, because all we do is prescribe. So let's see if we can get Jim back on here. Let's try this again, Jim.
All right, Glenn. How's that? Seems like it's a little better?
I think it's a little better. Yeah, I think we can live with that.
Good deal. Well, good.
So, Jim, I've just been talking about a few things that's going on in our country and in our world, but tell us again, where did you come from?
So I was born and raised in Minnesota. My mom grew up on a farm. She was a war orphan from World War II. They grew up in Minnesota completely off the grid. So when we used to go visit the farm, I used to hear all the stories about life on the farm with an outhouse and no running water and electric. And I think about how easy we have it nowadays. And then I also think about what they could have had on the farm if they would have simply known permaculture, which is what we practice here, which is perennial edible landscapes everywhere, and how mass adoption of stewardship of our land literally is the end and the solution to the world's major problems: cancer, diabetes, heart disease, hunger, scarcity, and even tyranny will be solved when we have an abundance of food all over the place.
Jim, I want you to talk about perennial edible landscapes. Let's break that down. Let me make sure I've got you on the other screen. Hang on. Okay. Perennial edible landscapes. Perennial obviously is yearly.
Now
Comes
I
back
can't hear
yearly.
you.
You cannot hear me now? That's weird because it's working. How about now? Let's try again. Boy, we're having some challenges today. All I did was put you on another screen. There you are. I hear you. I don't see you though. Okay, I see you now. And now we're back to the static.
Wow, this is nuts. When we're talking about the solution to all of it, we're getting so interrupted.
Jim, I don't know what to do with this. Here's what I think we probably need to do, because I think it's important. We need to have this show. But this is unintelligible. So let's solve this problem, and let's come back and do this at a different time. You and I can schedule it. We can even record it if we want to, and put it on where it needs to go. Folks, I hope you understand. I'm going to mute you here. Yeah, as soon as I mute your mic, everything's fine. So there's something going on with your mic. Folks, you understand there's technical problems when it comes to this. This is the first time I've had one like this, though. So we're going to end the show way, way early. Just know this: we're going to bring Jim Gale back on, and because this is important, he's going to help this country change the nutrition standards, change the way we eat, change the way our kids are taught. And it's an important thing for us. Like we were talking about, the school systems, in my opinion, absolutely are below standards. And there's some people that I've connected to recently that are making that change, at least right here in Florida. And I want you all to know about it. So with that being said, my apologies. We're going to end this early, and we're going to figure this thing out. Jim, thanks. And I'll get a hold of you in just a moment on the phone.
Forward, halt, left, right, your left.